The first time I saw Christina Davis, we were in college. We lived in the same building, and all I really remember is how I felt when I saw her, which was something like, whoa. The second time I saw Christina Davis, some 5 years later, she was in a group of people, and it seemed like every time I looked at her, she was looking right back at me. It was as if she was the only one in color, and everyone else was in black and white, which is impressive because it was a color picture I was looking at on the Facebook when I saw her for the second time. But it really was like her gorgeous hazel eyes were just looking right through me every time I would look at her. And then at the beginning of last year, I was catching up on the phone with my good friend Jacob, and he says to me, dude, this amazing thing happened to me the other day. My really good friend, who I think you might know of, Christina Davis. My heart seized at the mere mention of her name. He says, Christina Davis told me the other day that she has started to have feelings for women. My heart, I don't even know what my heart did at that point. It was in my throat and I don't know, out my mouth. All I could think was feelings for women, but I'm a woman. So I said to him, Jacob, I've always thought Christina Davis is beautiful. So I hereby officially enter my name into the pool of prospects to help Christina Davis explore her feelings for women. Now, Christina Davis lives in Providence, Rhode Island. And at that point, I was in the midst of a 5-year romantic drought. So, you know, there's not much to do at that point. I mean, a crush, even though it was only a crush, it was something for my heart to do. So 8 months later, I actually meet Christina Davis. It was over just one night of hanging out, and it was in a group setting. And at the end of the night, I went home, texted my friends, my loved ones, with a text that said, hi, home, hi, on meeting Christina Davis. I am going to marry her. Yeah, okay. So I believe in intuition, and I believe that it is possible to meet someone for the first time and intuitively know that you're going to end up with them. I also believe that there is a fine line between intuition and insanity and desperation at having been in a 5-year romantic drought. So, 8 months later, not 8 months later, 6 weeks later, I decide to ask to Christina Davis if she wants to go to a show with me up in Providence, Rhode Island, because I'm following one of my favorite bands, Mew, up there to see her. Up to see them. She says yes. Amazing, I know. So when I go to meet her, she is wearing a brown skirt above the knee, brown boots, this artsy tee that fit her very well, an ivy cap type hat that was adorable, and her lips were very shiny. And she's pretty clumsy, so when she went to get my attention, she spilled her tea all over her book that she'd been reading. This is what I got to sit down across from. She was just stunning. And then she invited me to go to karaoke night after the show. Of course, because she loves karaoke. So of course I go. Now, if I had gotten to karaoke night to find that Christina Davis was awful at karaoke, that would not have been a deal breaker. I mean, of course not. But it would have been pretty awkward. Yeah. Christina Davis is phenomenal at karaoke. She chose to sing Captain and Tennille's Love Will Keep Us Together. There is a part of that song that says, I will be there to share forever. She's up there belting it out, and all I can think is, yes, you will be there to share forever. Love will keep us together. She was so good. And then she invited me to crash at her place because it was a lot closer than where I was staying. Not going to argue with that. So I crashed on her couch that night, but not before. She says, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? What are your plans? I don't really have any plans. How about you? Me neither. Want to hang out? Yes! I will! So, okay, now at this point, of course, the whole time here, I'm trying to decipher her body language for signs that maybe physical, close vicinity or maybe some physical contact is welcome. Because, of course, my body language is such that I am a sunflower and she is the sun. And I'm always just kind of unconsciously drooping over in her direction. So, yeah. So I don't think she ever like pulled away from me or anything, but at the same time, as the sun, I don't think she ever like wrapped her rays around me or anything. So the next day, we're on a bench in a beautiful park, and we're just talking, and I'm telling her about my drought and about how ain't nothing had been happening up in here. And really, the term drought not used loosely. And you know, I say, you know, until my crush on you that I've had for the better part of a year. And she says, yeah, you know, I don't really get crushes on people. So I say, okay, then is it safe to say then that you don't have a crush on me? And she says, I don't know. And then we just keep on talking. And then it starts to sink in what had just happened, which is to say that I had no idea what had just happened. So I say to her, I'm starting actually to get a little nervous and a little scared because when I declare to a woman that I have feelings for her, I expect one of two things to happen. Either she's going to say, me too, bring it. Or she's going to say, I'm sorry, no. And I feel like neither of those things happened today. She says, yeah, no, I think you're right, and I feel like that's not fair to you because I feel like you deserve an answer. I feel like I deserve honesty. So if your honest answer is I don't know, that counts as an answer. But if I may ask you a point-blank question, are you attracted to me? Yes. Where to go from there, I have no idea. I know where to go from there. Let's make out or hold hands or something, right? Like, what? And you know, good thing I wasn't on a date with Allison, because with all the shit that I was asking her, Allison would have filled my email inbox with rejection templates. Woo! But to Christina Davis, I don't say this. I don't say this. Instead, I make an assumption that this is all just very new for her. Plus, I'm a lot. I know that I'm a lot. And I just don't want to push her any more than I feel like I already have. So instead, I lean back, and for the rest of my visit with her, we had a great time together. That was 2.5 months ago. We have not seen each other since, but we definitely keep in touch. One of the things that I know I was made to do in the world is make mix CDs for people. I love it. It is what I do. I've never been with a woman that makes mixes for me. I'm always the mix maker in the relationship. A few weeks ago, Christina Davis made me a mix and mailed it to me. It's almost enough. Crush on a woman that makes me mixes. When I think about making her mixes, I've made her one, I feel like the rest of time is not enough time to share all of the music that I want to share with her. But you know, her official, we haven't spoken again about our feelings. So her official verbalized answer remains, I don't know. And I have to say, the further along our relationship goes, the less intuitive I feel. I pretty much just feel insane all the time when it comes to her. Luckily, with anything, the way you see it depends on where you sit when you're looking at it. And with this adventure, from where I sit, there is a scene from the movie Dumb and Dumber playing. Lloyd, played by Jim Carrey, has just driven all the way across the country to see about a woman, Mary. And he asked her what the chances are of them ending up together. She says, not good. Not good like 1 out of 100. I'd say more like 1 out of 1,000,000. So you're saying there's a chance? Yeah!